Hello friends, I am Dr. Amit Gangwal, Associate Professor at SVKM's Institute of Pharmacy, Dhule. Today in this video I will talk about basics of phytochemistry. In that I will discuss modern methods of extraction. And in this short video I will talk about supercritical fluid extraction, that is SFE. This is a syllabus of B Pharm 5th semester. Subject is pharmacognosy and phytochemistry. We will talk about what is the definition of critical, what is the definition of supercritical, why this is called modern methods of extraction, its advantages, limitations and applications in general and specifically from viewpoint of isolation of phytoconstituents. So entire content has been taken from standard textbook of pharmacognosy, other general textbook, review articles and various web resources. For using web resources, I used Google as search engine, and I don't have any claims whatsoever on the images or infographics I have taken from internet. This video is purely made for the academic purpose and there is no commercial interest in making this video. So without further formalities, let me get started. So one of the most beautiful recent review articles I come across for extraction techniques is written by these people from various parts of the world. You may refer it. So I have pasted here a screenshot. So what is supercritical fluid? If we go into history, in 1822, Tour reported that above a certain temperature and pressure, substance stops behaving in a normal manner. They do not condense. Say for example, if they are in vapor phase, they will not be able to condense, or if they are in liquid, they will not be able to evaporate, but they exist as a fluid. Under this condition, the gas and liquid phases both possess same density and they are not able to show their individual features, and no division exists between the two phases. This is the critical state. For example, in case of water, the critical state arises when temperature is 374 degrees Celsius and pressure is 220 atmospheric pressure. The figures for carbon dioxide is 31 degrees Celsius and 74 pressure is there. So in practice, conditions somewhat above critical condition is called supercritical condition. So above the critical temperature and pressure, there are usually supercritical fluids which exhibits properties which are intermediates between liquid and gas. So the material is neither liquid nor gas. So it shows the features of both these states of matter. For every substance, there is critical temperature and pressure, above which no applied pressure can force the substance into its liquid phase. If the temperature and pressure of a substance are both higher than Tc, that is critical temperature, and Pc, that is critical pressure, for that material, for that substance, the substance is defined as a supercritical fluid. Supercritical fluid possess densities that are liquid-like and transport property like gas. So they have the fluid-like features and they can have the features like of gas. So they possess property of both. So in this graph, you can understand at certain temperature and pressure, the material is in solid state. If you further increase temperature, it goes to liquid phase, and if you further increase it, it attains the situation of critical point, above which it becomes supercritical, neither gas neither liquid, and has property of, has the density equal. So supercritical fluid extraction was originally started in 1970 to decaffeinate green coffee beans, means to remove caffeine from the coffee beans for various purposes. That is, they made coffee beans devoid of caffeine. They remove entire caffeine using this technology. But now it is used in all sorts of application from pharmacognosy point of view as well as in general. For example, for separating components from complex mixtures, producing hop extracts for beer, for example, or for extracting fragrances if we talk about aromatic and medicinal plants, and for other pharmaceutical products. But it is difficult for most of the industries to go for setup, it is very costly in operation. So we will discuss in the last section why it is difficult for various industries. So it is a method in which separation of, it means supercritical fluid extraction is a method in which separation of components takes place by supercritical fluids as extracting solvent. In conventional or in traditional extraction, we use, for example, ethanol, methanol, water, ethyl acetate, acetone, benzene, based on different polarity and the analytes or the material which we want to extract from the plant. So here separation or the extraction or the removal from the matrix components takes place by supercritical fluids as extracting solvent. Certain gases behave like free flowing liquids or supercritical fluids at critical point of temperature and pressure, as just we have discussed. For example, CO2 is held as supercritical fluid at the critical point of 74 bar pressure and around 30 degrees Celsius temperature. Supercritical fluid has very high penetration power and extraction efficiency, unlike their non-supercritical counterpart. At this critical point, for example, CO2 behaves as a liquefied gas or free-flowing stuff and assists the extraction of phytochemical constituents from the crude drugs. So, if we talk about various examples of SCF, then we have ethane, ethylene, propane, propylene, and trifluoromethane for that matter, or chloro-trifluoromethane. But the most commonly used is CO2, as we have discussed. This is the basic setup for this instrument, that is supercritical extraction. So one more. Okay, so we will discuss about the function of this supercritical fluid extraction setup. So you can see in the first number one part is CO2 tank, from which we will take CO2 through flow meter. Then this flow meter will regulate the flow of CO2. It will go to CO2 pump, will manage it. Then if required, we will add co-solvent. Why do we add co-solvent? I will discuss later in this video. Then there is pump for managing the flow of co-solvent, that is part number 6. In part number 7 of the instrument, we will mix like CO2, that is supercritical fluid, with the other solvents, that is co-solvent. Then there will be pressure gas. Then 9th number is the extraction cell. This is the main part other than part number 1. Part number 9 contains the plant material or the matrix from where you want to remove or extract the desired material using the potential of supercritical fluid. Then control valve is there at part number 10, and finally there are the parts to separate CO2, which will be again recycled as the fresh CO2, and you will remove the extracted material. Now, the oldest, typical and most common supercritical fluid extraction from solids is performed as a batch process with a continuous flow of supercritical fluid. An extraction medium is stored in the feed tank and liquid SCF is pumped from a reservoir. As we have seen, we have to take through pressure system, we have to take CO2 and we have to add some co-solvent if required. Then we have to mix it. Then we will send it to the part of the instrument where our plant material is kept. It is heated and pressurized to reach the supercritical condition. It means directly we will take CO2 gas from the cylinder. It will be heated and pressurized to reach the supercritical condition. Then it will be called supercritical CO2. Unless otherwise it will be called CO2, plain CO2 gas. The feed, that is the powdered solid material which we have to extract, is charged into the extractor. As I told you in the instrument section, one of the part is the the container or the vessel where dried powdered material or other material is there, which is to be extracted. Now CO2 is in supercritical state. The CO2 is fed to the extractor through a high pressure pump where contact with crude drug bed occurs and the required plant metabolites or plant materials are dissolved into the supercritical fluid. Now from the extractor, CO2, as I told you, after the extraction there will be CO2 and supercritical fluid CO2, and there will be extracted phytoconstituents. They will be sent to a separator via pressure reduction valve, and at reduced temperature and pressure there will be precipitation of the extract or the material which will be separated out, and we will finally remove CO2 and it will be recycled by condensation before returning to the liquid reservoir. In this way we can recycle it multiple times, and this is the benefit of CO2 compared to other conventional solvents. I will talk in advantages section of this video. Now we are coming to applications of supercritical fluid. It is used for recovery of organics from the oil shale, separation of biological fluids, bioseparation, pollution control, combustion in crude dewaxing and other industries. If you talk from pharmacognosy point of view, pioneer work earlier years were done by Stahl and co-workers. They studied the use of liquefied and supercritical carbon dioxide and liquefied nitrous oxide for the extraction of various plant constituents, including various types of alkaloids, the pyrethrines and the components of chamomile. So they found that concentration of pyrethrin increased when they compared this extraction of SCF with other type of technology. The use of supercritical fluids for the extraction of range of materials including plant products of medicinal flavoring and cosmetic interest has during the last decade become of increasing economic and research interest. So basically supercritical fluid has been used or is still being used for the decaffeination and for removal of essential oil from various plants. Still it is not a method of choice in all the pharma industry or even herbal industry for that matter, because the setup is very expensive. So other examples involving the extraction of phytoconstituents with supercritical carbon dioxides are, for example, alkaloids. As we are discussing decaffeination of green coffee, we all know caffeine is alkaloid. So decaffeination of green coffee, isolation of windolin from Catharanthus roseus, the famous plant for giving anti-cancerous molecule, then extraction of Taxol, the famous anti-cancer molecule from Taxus brevifolia. So they found that it has been very useful if you go for this technique for removal of this Taxol and for decaffeination of green coffee. Now similarly fixed oil has also been extracted, that is extraction of oil from evening primrose and extraction of annatto seeds for getting the pigments, and even for that matter yield of diazoxanine increased if they applied this CO2 extraction for Ismailex China. Similarly, there is sesquiterpene lactone in conjunction with gas chromatography for the isolation of parthenolide from feverfew, and addition of methanol or methyl cyanide as CO2 modifier gave higher yields. As I discussed in instrument section, either we can use pure supercritical CO2 or to remove more polar solvents or to adjust the polarity or to adjust the features of CO2, we can add some co-solvent like for example methanol or ethanol. So here if we add methanol, it gave higher yields of extractives. The use of 10% methanol in CO2 for the extraction of trilactones from ginkgo biloba could be of commercial significance. Similarly, volatile oils from Piper nigrum, rose petals and rosemary have been isolated using this supercritical fluid technology. Now we will see the advantages of supercritical fluid extraction. The dissolving power of SCF can be controlled by pressure and temperature. We can adjust the polarity or the features of CO2 just by changing pressure and temperature. SCF is easily recoverable from the extract due to its volatility. It is non-inflammable, non-toxic, and for industrial purposes, supercritical fluid carbon dioxide has an environmental advantage compared to ethanol, methanol, sodium tetrachloride, chloroform, and other conventional non-polar solvents. It is non-toxic solvent, so leave no harmful residue in the extract. High boiling components are extracted at relatively low temperature, so there is no issue to the degradation or damage to the phytoconstituents of interest. Separation not possible by more traditional processes can be done using this technique. It also allows a low temperature process and has proved of value for the extraction of labile expensive fragrances. As I told you, basically it is in use only for the isolation of volatile principles mainly. So equipment can precisely control which components in a complex matrix are extracted and which ones are left behind, just by maintaining the just by addition of co-solvents, by adjustment of pressure and temperature, you can have different type of features or properties of similar, I mean same CO2. So it does this by exactly regulating parameters such as temperature, pressure, flow rate and processing time. These four parameters plus co-solvent can decide what type of constituents you can extract in a proper sequence from the matrix, that is from the plant material. Once the target components are dissolved, the flow enters a separation vessel where pressure is reduced and the target components precipitate. What does this mean? Once extraction is over, so you have to remove CO2 for recycling and you have to separate the extracted material. So how to get that extracted material? You will decrease the temperature and pressure. So ultimately your extracted material will get precipitated and you will separate it. So now we will talk about the limitations or disadvantages of supercritical fluid extraction method. As I told you, high initial capital investment is there. So not all the industries have expertise and fund for that type of instrument because it doesn't have very versatile. You cannot isolate all type of primary or secondary metabolites using this technology. Elevated pressure is required. Compression of solvent requires elaborate recycling measure to reduce energy costs. The high pressure and for some substances the high temperature also involved in supercritical fluid extraction are the principal disadvantages of the techniques. So carbon dioxide itself is a non-polar and has somewhat limited dissolving power. As I told you, it is not good for all type of primary and secondary metabolites. You have to use co-solvent. So cannot always be used as solvent on its own, particularly for polar solids. The use of modifiers increases the range of materials which can be extracted. If you have to increase the polarity, you will get ethanol or methanol. In that way, you can isolate more type of material, but you have to adjust things. So food grade modifiers such as ethanol can often be used and can also help in collection of extracted material, but reduces some of the benefits of using a solvent which is gaseous at room temperature. So according to Alex Novitsky, the co-founder and chief executive of London UK based Nova Extraction, he has designed an economic version of supercritical fluid extraction instrument. According to him, this high quality of technology comes at a cost. He says supercritical extraction equipment is usually so expensive, even the top processors in the world try to outsource extraction rather than own their equipment. As I told you, even the top companies refrain from hiring expert and purchasing the machine for this extraction. Rather, they outsource this particular requirement. So these are few examples of some extracted bioactive compounds by different solvents. In general, it has nothing to do with supercritical fluid extraction. So in another video, we will talk about various conventional and other type of extraction technique like ultrasound assisted extraction, or for that matter microwave assisted extraction. So what we have seen today, we have seen the definition of critical fluid, we have seen the definition of supercritical fluid, we have seen the example of supercritical fluids like CO2 is the most important, easily available, non-toxic, and we have also seen the instrument. We have also seen one important feature, how we can adjust the features of CO2, how we can adjust the polarity just by adding co-solvent and by adjustment of temperature and pressure. We can use it for various purposes. So this is the learning for today's session, and with this I conclude this session. Thank you very much.